Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some crazy news coming out for you here. This gentleman on your screen is German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. And it says here, did he just spill the beans? Well, you're going to find out here in just a minute. So, right now he's being criticized for flagrant abuse of intelligence. Okay, so basically what happened here is he was holding like a conference and people were asking him questions. Why does Germany not send this new technology cruise missile, the Taurus missile? Okay, it's a major cruise missile that many NATO members want Germany to send to Ukraine because they desperately need help right now, and these missiles would give them extreme advantage. And it's a very long range missile too, with bunker busting technology. So he basically came out and said, no, we cannot send these to Ukraine because that would require us to put troops on the ground to fire them inside of Ukraine. We're not willing to get involved with the war. And okay, that makes sense. They don't want to be directly involved. But then he went on to say that he doesn't want to get involved like British and French troops are right now inside of Ukraine because obviously they have like the Storm Shadow missile, the British Storm Shadow, and the French have their own missiles that have been sent to Ukraine as well. So he was claiming that there's already troops on the ground, French troops and British troops on the ground firing missiles that come from their own countries at Russian troops. Like, that's huge news. That means that NATO's already directly involved in the war, and he's saying, no, we're not willing to be directly involved. So all of this comes out just after the last couple days here that French President Emmanuel Macron came out and said that they'd be open to sending troops to Ukraine. Is that why? Is that why they're so open to sending troops to Ukraine? Because they already have them there? I think many people already know this, that there's a high potential that NATO troops are already on the ground in Ukraine, potentially firing missiles or doing something other than fighting on the front line, obviously, right? But this is obviously huge news right here, and he just spilled the beans for all these NATO countries that are trying to stay out of this war. So let's talk about this. This is on Business Insider. German Chancellor appeared to suggest that British and French soldiers have helped Ukraine fire deep strike missiles at Russian targets, report says. It's crazy. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has been criticized for a flagrant abuse of intelligence after he appeared to suggest British and French soldiers had been helping Ukraine fire missiles they had supplied. Scholz made the comments while explaining his reluctance to send Germany's long-range Taurus cruise missile to Ukraine, which he said risked the country becoming directly involved in the war. The chancellor said that sending the missiles, which weigh 3,000 pounds and have a range of up to 310 miles, would require German soldiers to assist Ukrainian forces on the ground. So it would require them to be on the ground to fire them. He noted that Germany could not do what Britain and France were doing with the Storm Shadow, also known as scalp missiles. So he's basically saying here that they were on the ground already firing them. What is being done in the way of target control and accompanying target control on the part of the British and French can't be done in Germany. Everyone who has dealt with this system knows that, he said. The Associated Press reported. German soldiers must at no point and in no place be linked to targets this system reaches. So they don't want to be involved, basically. But again, he's spilling the beans that Britain and France are both involved directly right now. Defense sources told The Telegraph that his comments had increased concerns over the safety of military and diplomatic personnel from the two countries. Former UK Defense Secretary Ben Wallace accused Scholz of not only dangerous use of facts, but also often wrong facts. Well, I don't know. Is he claiming that he's telling the truth here? But then he's like, no, but it's not real information. It's not right. What he's saying is wrong. It's like a two-sided statement there. Scholz's behavior has showed that as far as the security of Europe goes, he is the wrong man in the wrong job at the wrong time, he told The Standard. Tobias Ellwood, the former chairman of the UK House of Commons Defence Committee, said it was a flagrant abuse of intelligence deliberately designed to distract from Germany's reluctance to arm Ukraine with its own long-range missile system, per The Telegraph. This will no doubt be used by Russia to racket up the escalator ladder. Well, yeah, definitely it will be. That's obviously the worry here. And didn't Didn't Putin just come out? I put a video on this just recently that Putin came out and said that if Western troops are on the ground in Ukraine, this could risk nuclear war, is what he said. A German government spokesperson told Business Insider they had no comment on the reports. In a statement to BI, a spokesperson for the British Ministry of Defense said Ukraine's use of Storm Shadow and its targeting process are the business of the armed forces of Ukraine. So they're stating here, the British Ministry of Defense saying that they are not involved directly, that only Ukraine is firing these. It is also clarified that Scholz did not confirm the presence of British troops in Ukraine, although it noted that the department had previously been clear that a small number of personnel are in the country to provide security for our diplomatic presence and to support the armed forces of Ukraine. Wow, that's obviously there's no way to really know here, right? I mean, I'm assuming Russia will probably try to do some investigation to figure out whether there actually is British or French troops or any NATO country on the ground in Ukraine. But there's been multiple accusations, like towards the French, for example. I want to say there was one time where Russia was accusing French mercenaries of being on the ground in Ukraine. So obviously, there's a lot of rhetoric here being ramped up for this on whether Western troops are going to Ukraine or already potentially in Ukraine. This is only going to make the tensions even worse and get us that much closer to NATO potentially having to go to war against Russia if Russia were to declare war on the West. And there's just so much pressure here because Ukraine's also really falling apart right now. They don't have any supplies, and this aid package is still held up in Congress and probably will be for another week or two, maybe longer, who knows. And the longer that this takes, the more the Russians are going to continue to push into Ukraine. And, we're going to see countries like this doing very desperate maneuvers and trying to figure out ways to get supplies to Ukraine while the U.S. is unable to supply them at the moment, which obviously they're the major backer here of Ukraine, right? So let me know what you think down below. This is obviously pretty scary, but at the same time, was this like these words just kind of taken out of context? It's possible, but to me, that's kind of what it sounds like. Based on what he said, it kind of sounds like he's admitting that British and French troops are potentially on the ground in Ukraine, firing these Storm Shadow missiles and whatever else they've brought over there. Okay, so again, let me know what you think down below. Comment below, share your thoughts. And if you got something out of this video, please hit the like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit the notification bell. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody, thank you again so much for tuning in. Take care, and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.